$912,000. That's what's sitting in my retirement account right now. Exposed 40 years of clipping coupons. Exposed 40 years of saying no. Exposed 40 years of watching every single penny. And last Tuesday, I sat in my living room, looked at that number on my screen, and felt nothing. Actually, that's not true. I felt sick, because I finally understood what that money actually cost me. I'm 68 years old. I did everything right. Exposed, I maxed out my 401k every single year. Exposed, I never carried credit card debt. Exposed, I drove the same car for 19 years. Except I packed my lunch every day for 4 decades. Every financial advisor would look at my portfolio and say, "Michael, you won." But here's what nobody tells you about winning. Sometimes you win the game and lose your life. I have $900,000. I also have an empty photo album. I have a refrigerator with 1 plate, 1 fork, and 1 cup. I have a phone that doesn't ring. And I have a drawer full of travel brochures I've been collecting since 1987. Never used a single one. But to understand how I got here, I need to take you back to where it started. Spring of 1983. I was 23 years old. Just started working at a manufacturing plant in Michigan. First real job, first real paycheck. $342 a week. My father sat me down at his kitchen table. Same table he'd had for 30 years. Same chair with the wobbly leg he never fixed. "Michael," he said, "let me tell you something about money." He pulled out a napkin, drew a little chart. "You save 20% of everything you make, every paycheck. No exceptions, no excuses. If you do that for 40 years, you'll never worry about anything." I looked at that napkin like it was scripture. My father grew up during hard times. Exposed, he'd seen families lose everything. Exposed, he'd gone hungry. Exposed, he'd worn shoes with holes because there was no money for new ones. So when he told me to save, I listened. I more than listened. I became obsessed. 20% became 30, then 40, then 50. Every raise I got, I saved. Every bonus, straight to the account. Every tax refund was gone before I could spend it. I watched that number grow, and I felt safe. I felt smart. I felt like I was building something. What I didn't realize was what I was destroying. It started small, the way these things always do. 1989. My buddy Dave invited me on a fishing trip to Canada. 4 days, 6 guys. Split the cost, maybe $300 each. I said no. $300 was $300. Dave said, "Come on, Michael, live a little." I told him I'd catch the next one. There was no next one. Dave stopped asking after a while. Then it was my sister's 50th birthday. The whole family was flying to San Diego. Beach house for a week. Everyone pitching in. I did the math. Flights, food, my share of the house, $800. I sent a card instead, 50 cents plus postage. My sister called me when she got it. She didn't sound angry. She sounded tired. "Michael, we wanted you there, not your card." I told her I'd make the next one. I didn't. 1994. A group from work was going to Italy. 2 weeks. The trip of a lifetime, they said. I picked up the brochure. Rome, Florence, Venice. The pictures looked like paintings. I kept that brochure. Exposed, I told myself I'd go someday. Exposed when I had enough saved. Exposed when the time was right. The time was never right. 2003. My best friend from college, Ray, called me. Wanted to take a road trip. Exposed, just the two of us, like old times. Exposed drive down the coast. No schedule, no plan. I told him work was busy. Work was always busy. Ray died in 2011. Heart attack. 54 years old. I went to his funeral. stood in the back, watched his kids cry, watched his wife accept condolences from people who actually showed up for him. I hadn't seen Ray in person for 6 years. 6 years. Because I was too busy saving for someday. Last month, I was cleaning out my closet, found a box I hadn't opened in years. Inside were all those travel brochures. Italy, Alaska, Ireland, Japan. 37 brochures. Exposed, yellowed, exposed and creased. Exposed from a world that doesn't even exist anymore. Some of those places had changed completely. Some of those prices would make you laugh now. Some of those trips were for 2 people. I never found the second person. Hard to find someone when you never go anywhere. I sat on my bedroom floor with those brochures spread around me like fallen leaves. And I thought about what my father told me. Save 20% and you'll never worry about anything. He was wrong. I saved 50% for 40 years, and you know what I worry about now? I worry that I wasted my entire life preparing for a future that I forgot to live for. I have $900,000. Exposed, I have no stories. Exposed, I have no adventures. Exposed, I have no one to call. My father saved money because he'd been hungry. I saved money because I was scared. And fear is a terrible financial advisor. Here's what I wish someone had told me at 23. Money is a tool. It's not a score. Nobody's going to put your bank balance on your headstone. Nobody at your funeral is going to say, he had a really impressive 401k. They're going to talk about the trips you took, the dinners you shared, the times you showed up, the memories you made. I don't have those memories. I have receipts. If you're watching this and you're young, hear me clearly. Take the trip. Buy dinner. Go to the birthday party. Say yes to the fishing trip. The money you save by saying no is never worth the life you lose by not showing up. I'm not saying be reckless. I'm not saying don't save anything. I'm saying don't save everything. Because you can't deposit a sunset into a retirement account. You can't compound interest on a conversation with your best friend. You can't withdraw a memory from an ATM. That Italy brochure is still in my drawer. I'm 68 now. My exposed knees ache. Exposed, I get tired by 2 in the afternoon. Exposed, the doctors say I should take it easy. I could have walked through Rome at 34. Now I'd be lucky to make it up the Spanish steps. $912,000. That's what I have. Ask me what it cost. If you're waiting for the perfect time to live your life, I'm telling you, it already passed. Don't be like me. Don't save your life.